Welcome, welcome. Day 93. Checking if to make sure the live stream sound. Yes. Whew, okay. Day 93. The plot thickens. See, I have a hiccup. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I lost all my color in my face. So something's up. So okay, so after I posted this live stream, the one that I talked about yesterday, not only did the channel start to open up, and I started detoxing. So it's like the body is releasing pressure from the system. And then I had someone reaching out to me. And therefore, the name of this episode, Birds of a Feather Flock Together. And my theory and many others is that when you speak from your authentic voice, and when you're starting to really align with what's happening, and start to align with a certain part of yourself, or returning to the truth of yourself, then you start to attract, because the energetics that I've been speaking to also, that during this, that the result of the fire horse years is that we're breaking away from our old structures and into where we belong, kind of. And now people are starting to find me, and that is extraordinary. I mean, it's like, and she's had similar experiences. See, telling you, I'm not the only one. And so we start to message a little bit back and forth, and we voice message. And as I am in close proximity with someone who has a similar experience, as I told you how it works, start to calibrate. So I sent her a voice message this morning, and after a while after that I sent that voice message, I started to receive information from myself from that voice message. And there's a realization that is coming together. It's like pixel by pixel. There's a realization and a truth, and I'm like, wow. And I can see a part of myself as an identity that is not me. And I can see where it comes from. I can see, I get all the information. And that's when my body starts to react. And I start to notice, where is the energy located in my body? And it's in the stomach. Remember? I said that I'm looking for the energy, like, what is the energy in my stomach? So now all things are happening, and so I can model for myself, so I can see, okay, that is not truly me. And I have compassion for myself. I have compassion for the other. This is just a natural part of what happens being human. We are entangled with each other in different ways, and we take on behaviors and energetics that are not ours, and that's how the generational energetics are passed on. So there's nothing wrong. No one did anything wrong. It's how it works. And I'm releasing energy as I'm speaking, and I'm speaking to the energy. I'm speaking to all of it because it's Love and grace. Love and grace. So love will always be the last word. Love is always the last word. And then I did a internal alchemy session and started to move the energy. And now I'm getting blackouts, so I don't have access to what happened in there anymore. Okay, so can't talk about that. Woo! And then I went straight from there to here. So I realized that it's about birds of a feather flock together, because I'm using this space now as to share my personal experience and to share in real time what happens and how things are progressing and what I'm doing and how I'm experiencing it. And it's connected to the jaw. Oh. And I can feel it's connected here, and it's connected to energies from my party days. No, on this side. No, on this side. I'm mirrored at myself, so it's very confusing with the sides. So it's this side. Something behind the eyes. I can see that sometimes when I look at myself, that the eyes are different, and I can see that there's one thing that is, yeah. So this is like the adventure. This is what I mean when you have to be a detective in your own life. It's like you have to be Sherlock Holmes. And it's so funny because when people do my human design, they say that if I didn't have this profession that I have, what would I be the absolute best at? And it's always, it doesn't really matter what kind of test I do. It's always criminal investigator. So it's like I'm Sherlock Holmes in my own life with this body, this place, and how can I use it and share it? And I'm using myself as an example. But this has to do with communication, how I express myself, because of my energetic setup, I can take on other energies very easily. And I've probably been doing that. I mean, everything is for survival. So when you start to look at the human from that lens, like what extent do we go? The extent we go to is equivalent with the level of fear the body is feeling in order to survive. And then that can also go to other levels that is not so nice, but that's where it all comes from. Okay, so that's really what I wanted to say. I feel like I'm still processing. I still feel like there's still energy moving. Well, very, very interesting. And the next level or layer of the multidimensional detox that we've been talking about is the mental layer. And that is the one that I feel is very deeply connected to this energy that I'm speaking to right now, or that I'm very aware of in my system, that I can feel it's very, it's I can feel it. I can sense myself. I can sense the energy. I can see it. And it's connected to my jaw up here. I have a problem with the tooth here. That's interesting. So that's what I mean. It's like I can mirror myself through these live streams. I can mirror myself, and now I was in close proximity with someone who's doing similar job as me, and then automatically I received information of myself from that. So reporting from the field research, theories confirmed. If I would have a notebook, I would scribble down the findings are confirming my theories. But this is like a digital, I'm like Indiana Jones with my digital notebook for the world to I leave it behind for the world to do whatever you want with it. That's amazing. That's the freedom that we have, really. And it feels like I'm on the quest of my not only human potential, but I'm also on the quest of truly finding my true voice and who I am. I know who I am on a soul level, but I'm very curious to see how that is going to manifest itself in the physical realm, in the human realm. Because I feel like I'm getting there. And it's all about in the expression. It's like I really believe that every human has a energetic setup in the same way that we have personalities and little quirks and things that we can do and things that we do, that someone who can just make, people say she makes a mean apple pie, like something that is exceptionally good or doing exceptionally well. I think that we are like that, but it's not secret recipes, it's energetic setups, and we're good at different things. Okay, so energy is moving. So we're good at different things, and I think that we have very different unique setups. And when you open up the body, it's like there's like an energy that opens up from the inside, and then the human organism or the human technology kind of adapts around that energy, and then that gets its truest expression in this life form. And I can still see how I have imprints from my human experience from, I mean, this is usually, the country I grew up in, the city I was born in, the family I was born in, the school I went to, the people I happened to have next to me growing up. How did that affect me? How did that affect my way of expressing myself, of what I believe is true and not true, what I believe is real and not real? Because the layers that I've been moving through during my life kind of indicates that my environment most likely had a significant input on me. And I feel like for the first time in 48 years, I'm arriving to a place in an environment where all of those things can fall off or start to fall off. I mean, they have been falling off for a long time, but now I feel like it's going to be, because there's nothing else here. Those 9 years has taken me, or us, me and Simba, to a certain point where where I can go deeper with this work. And I'm very, very grateful for that. Very, very grateful for that. Okay. I'm sensing more layers. I can see it in how I express myself. It's deep. It runs deep. Oh, and now I can feel it behind the eyes. Now I see the difference between the two eyes in my own reflection. Behind here. And there's probably some grief and some disappointment and some processing that has to do with that. That comes with that package. And that's just how it is. And meeting that and allowing that is a very beautiful process. And it's a very, very liberating process. And this is one that has a long, long time coming, this one. So arriving deeper, closer to the truth, day by day, step by step. If you appreciate my journey, please like and subscribe. I would appreciate that very much. If you don't, I still appreciate you because you're here. So don't feel any type of way if you don't. That's why I really don't like asking for it, because it's like, if I ask for it, then if most people are people pleasers also. So do they do it because they want to or because I told them? And then that becomes manipulation. So I'm torn to all these marketing stuff, to be honest. But there's a big but coming on, because I'm contradicting myself. Because when I'm following someone that I like, that think that, and I think that they should, people should listen to this. This is important. This is important news. And people make a living out of, their services. And if they sell it, I don't mind. I think it's good. Wow, good. You're offering your services. This is going to benefit people. Isn't that weird? Isn't that super weird? It's like the contradiction that never ends. And there's like, what is the right way to do it and what is the wrong way? It's just, this has to do with right and wrong. This energy has to do with right and wrong. Because I'm like sensing a calibrating energy. There is no right or wrong. I know that. But I knew that up here. I didn't know that down here. See, can you see how everything relaxed? And that's why I also removed the lashes, or decided not to continue with doing them for a while, because I wanna see how I really look. It has something to do with the upper lip. I don't know if you can see that that this side is hanging a little bit. Yeah. Oh, it's so weird with the double. And it has to do with, there's something, it's like there's a, no, like that. Okay, like that. Yeah, that could be possible. Interesting. Yeah, about doing things wrong and being punished for it. That's a very, like, making mistakes. I think I spoke about that before. And there's something about this space, because I think you've seen a lot of people that when they grow older, their upper lip becomes just thinner and thinner. That there's something about that, because I can feel the energy, and there's a lot of resentment and spite. And when you haven't been able to live, if you've been people pleasing a lot, you have a lot of spite, because that's a natural reaction from the body. It's not something that we choose to do. It's something that is naturally created when our boundaries are continually overstepped. And as I begin to liberate myself from the modeling that I've been doing, so it's a strength and a curse to be able to take on different energies. And I've been able to alchemize a lot for these people too. So there's a boundary there that I have, as a child, just not been able to withhold for myself. And then there's a lot of energy connected to that. So it's about returning to myself. And I can see how, because, and why I can feel it in my face is because it's connected to how we express ourselves. Like, if you meet a group of friends, it's like having the same kind of lingo. We talk in the same way. We kind of harmonize with the people that we have around us, and we take on these habits. So it's a habit of expressing ourselves in a certain way around certain people, and that leaves certain imprints, and it leaves a muscle memory and a fascia memory and a nervous system memory. And a very strong, it's like when people say that they stop smoking, that it's not so much the smoking itself, it's the situation when they wait for the bus, or in certain, it's like the situation triggers the behavior or the reaction in the body, and it's the same. And a lot of that is in the eyes, and a lot is in this area, I realize, because it's how we pronounce, how we show up, how we pronounce, how, and we have, so we always talk the same way, we always talk the same. So it's like there's a habit there, and when we try to break that, that is weird for the face. That is weird because we might have been in a personality or an identity that we believe is ours for our whole life, and that's what I'm waking up to and realizing, and that is interesting, to say the least, on many ways, in many ways, and in many aspects. And that's how I choose to express it, because I don't want to judge anything in it, because there's nothing to judge. It's how we work as humans. It's nothing. I haven't I didn't do anything wrong, and that's it. It is. It's like right or wrong. It's like my body thinks it's done something wrong, and a lot of this that is in the belly is guilt on so many levels. That's came to me now, that I realized yesterday. I don't know if I said that or not. I don't remember what I'm just in the, and a little bit with my head in the clouds, because there's not so much going on right now. So yeah, just ground. Yeah, it's like that. Anyway, this is what I this is this is so when mom, when you asked me to, maybe you should have a hobby, like this is my hobby. But I should, you're right, I should also have other hobbies, and that is to just live life and just be who I am. And that it feels like I'm trying that, and it feels, we've been in solitude for like 9 years, and now when I'm coming out and being much more interactive with other people, then I realize like, oof, I see myself, I hear myself, this doesn't sound like me, this is like, oof. And in that, then there's a lot of energy leaving. So this is like happening in real time. Well, that's it for today. Day 93 over and done with. And I'll see you somehow on my channel tomorrow. Have a beautiful day, and thank you very much. And yeah, I really appreciate you. Ciao.